Hello, you guys. Luxira Moon Goddess, and today we will be discussing, is your company affecting your frequency? So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, in one of my previous videos, we were previously discussing, is your environment affecting your frequency? This is going to be a little bit similar, only we're going to be talking about the company and the people that you keep around you. So, with that being said, with the people who you associate with, you need to be mindful of who you keep around you. And I'm going to tell you as to why that is. The type of people that are around you can affect you. And with that being said, you do not want to be around people who are energy vampires. And you want to know as to why that is? Because when you're around those energy vampires, they're going to drain you. They're going to steal your energy. And with that being said, when you really think about it on a goddess level, there are just some people who don't deserve you. Some people do not deserve to be in your presence, and you have to be mindful of the people that you keep around you. So, with that being said, be aware of who is around you. Be aware of who you keep as your friends, especially. When it comes to friendships, there's nothing wrong with being picky about the types of friends that you want to be around. There's nothing wrong with that. Because, with that being said, there are some people in this life, in this world, they don't deserve you. They don't deserve you because you know that there are certain people out here that will try to take advantage of you, that will drain your energy, that will seep you of your youth. Don't be around those people. So when it comes to the type of people that you're around, the people who you associate with, you have to be very picky and very mindful of who is around you. You don't want to be around someone who's full of drama, who's full of chaos and discord, and it's draining you, and they're stealing your energy. Don't put up with those people. Don't put up with being around those type of people. And sometimes when it comes to even long-term friendships or relationships or what have you, sometimes you have to edit it. Sometimes you have to make an edit. You have to think, okay, do I really need to be associated with this person anymore? If I really think about this relationship or this friendship, am I really getting anything out of it? Or am I just getting headaches? Am I getting nonsense? Am I getting, chaos and drama? And if that's the case, just end the relationship. Just get rid of them, because if you keep holding on to that relationship, it's going to affect your frequency. You're not going to be vibrating on the highest frequency because you're around the wrong people. You are around people that negatively affect your frequency, and that's why, and with that being said, you won't vibrate on the highest frequency possible. So, with that being said, and like for an example, not even just like personal friendships or relationships, you even have to be mindful nowadays of like where you're working. Like we know that the workplace can be toxic. Let's be real, not all workplaces are the same. Like, I recently had to leave a job because of the people. The people on the job were draining my frequency, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, so I had to leave that job because it's like, I don't want to, especially with, and I can't really stand the workforce as a whole anyway. But with that being said, it's like, I'm already on this job, giving up, 8 hours of my day to be on this job that I really don't want to be on the job anyway, let alone be around certain people who's trying to negatively affect my frequency, who's trying to drain me, who's trying to steal my youth, who's trying to irritate me. I just couldn't do it, so it was like, I just had to leave that job, and I had to do what I have to do, and now I'm looking for another one, because I can't be around certain people who's going to drain my frequency. Life is too short to be around people who are going to drain you of your energy and your frequency all the time. hmm So, with that being said, and going back to what I was talking about, editing your relationships, don't be one of those people who's afraid to let go of friendships, afraid to let go of relationships. Sometimes you just have to put yourself first. If you're going to operate as a goddess, you need to put yourself first and foremost, because if you are not vibrating on your highest frequency, if you are not feeling your best, how can you really deal with other people who actually do deserve you? If you have all these, it's like with some of these friendships and relationships, think of it as extra weight. It's like you're carrying this extra weight that's slowing you down. It's slowing you down, it's heavy, it's making you tired. You don't need to keep carrying those extra relationships because they're not good for you. It's not good for you. So why are you holding on to these relationships and you're getting nothing from these relationships other than headaches, chaos and discord, and drama, and dealing with energy vampires who are seeping you and draining you? Don't be afraid to let go of those relationships. And I've said in a previous video, please don't be afraid, because sometimes you just may have to go through a period of your life where you may be alone. You just may have to go through that. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being alone. There's sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Because I'm one of those people, I'd rather have no relationships than to settle for lousy relationships. Because I don't want to deal with certain people. I don't want to be drained. I don't want my frequency drained. And I'm not going to put up with lousy relationships, lousy friendships, or what have you. I'm not going to do it. It's like I'm too old for that anyway. Why would I put up with lousy friendships when I can just be a good friend to myself? hmm So, with that being said, and when you're in the process of making new relationships or new friendships or what have you want to, really think about elevating your social circles. This is why, in my previous video, be mindful of the places where you go. Because certain places are going to attract different types of people. It's going to attract different types of people. So, with that being said, if you want people kind of similar to you, think about your hobbies and interests. Think about this is why you should focus on the things that you like to do, and then go to those places and those activities, and hopefully, usually you'll find people that's kind of similar to you, other people that's vibrating on a high frequency as well, because you have similar interests. So, elevate your social circles. Stop going to, if you need to, stop going to specific places, on the wrong side of town. Stop shopping at certain stores. Go to higher end stores. Go to the nice side of town. Go to the luxury side of town if you need to. Because, go out early in the morning. These are the types of places that you want to go to. And let me tell you, because I've done this from experience, it's like night and day. When you switch the places that you go to, when you change your environment, the type of people that you meet, it's going to be so much more different than the typical people that you normally meet on your average, day out and about. Elevate your social circles. That way, you're not running to all these lousy people or these energy vampires, because you're changing your environment. You're changing your environment. You're going to better places. You're going to, nicer areas of town. And especially when it comes to something like that, when you go to places where you live that have money, they're already going to be automatically vibrating on a higher frequency, because let's be real, they have money. they're in nicer restaurants. It's kind of like, speaking on that note, it's different from, there's a difference between going through, like, for example, a fast food restaurant, from going from a chain restaurant to going to a high-end restaurant. All three of those are vibrating on different frequencies. And a part of the frequency is also going to be the people that are there. The people that are there is going to be a different experience. So, with that being said, you have to be mindful of the company that you keep around you. Life is too short to be wasting around, certain people who do not deserve you, who are stealing your energy. Don't give your attention to people who don't deserve it. That's not goddess mentality. Goddess mentality is, I'm going to give my attention to the people who deserve it the most, to the people who are giving me what I want in a relationship. That is goddess mentality. You don't have to deal with anyone that you don't have to deal with. It's not like it's kindergarten where the teacher's forcing you to be friends with someone or forcing you to interact with whoever. No. You, as a goddess, you choose who you want to put up with, how much time you want to give to someone, if you give any attention to that person at all. It is your decision, it is your choice. So, with that being said, be very wary, especially in this day and age, of the people that you keep around you. And like I've said before, and you've seen, especially if you live in America, if when you see some of the people walking around this day and age, look at the average person and really think about it. Most of these people that you're going to come across, whether it's on the workforce or in your interpersonal relationships, they don't deserve you. We got people out here who don't even have human decency, people who don't even have manners. We have professionals that can't even be professional themselves on the job. And they don't deserve you. They don't deserve you. If you really think about it, they don't deserve your presence. They don't deserve to be around you. Stop putting up with them. Stop putting up with them. Stop tolerating these low frequency beings that are trying to drain you. Just don't put up with it. You don't have time life goes by pretty fast. You do not have time to be wasting, giving your energy to people who do not deserve it. Don't give it to them. Don't pay attention to them. Already have it in your mind with the people that you come across from day to day. You have much more better things than to do than to be around most people. Just have it in your mind. Have it as your mindset. It's like, think of it this way. Do you really want to be wasting time, wasting your energy with this person? Or is there something else that you can be doing that's more productive or more important to you right now? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something more important that you can be doing than being around that person. So, with that being said, be picky and be choosy of the people who you're around. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people will tell you, "Oh, well, that's stuck up," or "Oh, you're stuck up," or you have your standards are too high. Who cares? Keep your standards high. Keep your standards high. Because that way, you're not going to tolerate these people who do the bare minimum and who barely put in any effort at all. That way, you're keeping out, you're blocking away, and you're repelling the energy vampires to where you don't have to deal with them. To where they're not going to want to interact with you because it really is the energy you give off. Give off that goddess mentality energy. Give off that goddess mentality energy where you're just like, no, I don't have time to deal with you. I have more important things to do. My time is valuable. And no, you're not going to waste it. That is the mindset you have to have as a goddess. That is the mindset that you have to have when you're dealing with people. It's really no, when you think about it, it's really no different than operating yourself as a business. Only it's the business of you. Operate as a business. Your time is too valuable. You have things to do. You don't deserve to have your time wasted. So when you're operating on that energy and you're radiating off that energy and you're radiating off that frequency, people can tell. They're going to be able to notice. And when you give off that energy, when you have those high standards, they're going to realize, oh, I can't waste this woman's time. I can't waste her time. Because, she's at her A game. She has these certain expectations, and she's not going to put up with your nonsense. When you're radiating off that energy from the get-go, people are going to be able to tell. Is it going to automatically repel certain people? Yes, it is. But you have to stop and think. That is what you want to do. You want to repel off those energy vampires so that you're not dealing with them and they're not going to end up wasting your time anyway. So, with that being said, please be mindful of the company you keep around you. Please be mindful of the relationships that you have, because a lot of the times, a lot of those relationships are not good for you. And you need to do a cleanup. You need to edit your relationships. It's no different than, let's say, editing your wardrobe. And you have some old clothes that you need to get rid of. Edit those relationships and get rid of some of those people. Some of the people that you hold on to, some of those relationships that you're holding on to, you need to take them and you need to drop them off at the local Goodwill. And let somebody else let somebody else choose them. Because that is where some of those people belong. Some of those people that you're holding on to, they don't deserve you, and some of them are just using you. Take them, drop them off at the local Goodwill, and don't worry about it anymore, because eventually somebody will claim them, somebody will decide to be their friends, whatever or what have you, and leave it at that. Drop them off, and you know what? Don't worry about how quickly you're going to make another friend. Don't worry about how quickly you're going to get into another relationships, because it's going to happen. It may take some time, but it's going to happen. And when it does happen, and you meet somebody better than the previous person that you were dealing with, you're going to be like, oh, you know what? This was worth it. I'm glad I'm no longer dealing with that other person, because now I found someone who's much more valuable. Now I found someone who's much more, into me, and I'm getting the attention that I deserve. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm glad I don't have this other person in my life, because they're no longer holding me back, because they're no longer draining me, because now I can have my time. I can give my time to this other person who actually reciprocates the attention that I give to them. So, with that being said, be mindful of the company that you keep, and don't waste your time settling for people who do not deserve you. So, with that being said, that is all that I have for this one, and I will check you later in the next one. Bye-bye.